Good morning, gang. Dr. Sean here. Thank you so much for joining me in the Winner's Circle. We're continuing our conversation about improving your health. During the first week of October, we talked about learning from every experience and this opportunity to keep winning as we experience more and learn more about what it means to be healthy. Now we'll be talking more about some of the biggest challenges, what I hear every day when I talk to people that come in with new crises. People come into the hospital with chest pains or new weakness, new headaches, new disabilities, and much of what they describe has some basic fundamental elements that are really pretty much the same. So we'll be talking about these barriers and how we can overcome them. Looking forward to talking more. Let's have a great week. Okay, now we need to see a gentleman of about 55 years who came in for a seizure. It's very unusual for somebody who has very new seizures and they never had them before, so it suggests that there's an underlying neurological issue going on, something else. Let's check him out.
Okay, gang, we got some more background information. We got a chance to talk to our gentleman, and he actually reports that he has history of high blood pressure and diabetes. He was placed on medications for these, but he stopped them because he had difficulty getting erections. We're looking at his CAT scan here to look for new causes for seizures, but I'm not finding anything new. We generally look for problems in the outside in the cortex of the brain. He doesn't have any issues here. We need to do some more studies, an electroencephalogram here. We're looking for a proclivity to have recurrent seizures to make recommendations going forward on medications. Looks like we just need to take our blood pressure medications. Ultimately, we reviewed all of his medications one by one to evaluate which one would have more impact on getting erections. As it turns out, it was probably not a medication for diabetes. It was probably not something for his asthma. As it turns out, it was probably something for his blood pressure. It was probably a beta blocker. So we agreed to get control for now and then make some substitutions when we can make sure that he's safe and stable.
Okay, no emergencies at this point. Routine consults. Been asked to see somebody in their 70s, and she's been having weakness off and on over the past couple of days. Was not able to talk on one day and not able to move her right side on one day. And now she's in the hospital because ultimately her family insisted. Let's check her out.
So, because she's been having new problems, we asked her to undergo a CAT scan of the brain. Of course, we're looking for blood, which would show up as bright white on a CAT scan. We don't find bright white on this CAT scan in the brain. That's inappropriate, but instead what we find here are dark areas here, suggesting that she's been having small strokes that are ongoing, and she's having them in what we call the watershed distribution. She has a tight carotid artery, it appears here. So we asked her to undergo an MRI of the brain, which definitely shows recent stroke. She underwent an MRA, an MRI of the arteries. The next thing was for her to meet a neurosurgeon. So the carotid artery is extremely important, and it provides blood flow to an entire side of the brain. And the side that we were concerned about is the left side, which controls a lot of language, our ability to understand what's being said as well as express ourselves. Our lady underwent a carotid stenting procedure, which improved her blood flow and essentially averted a major stroke. And then a carotid ultrasound was performed to make sure that she was good to go. Luckily, she was discharged in about 2 days to home to her family, and then to follow up on just medical therapy. We're expecting her to do wonderfully.
So when these challenges come up, when these issues come up in these what I refer to as crises, it provides for us an opportunity to make some adjustments. In fact, these issues, when they arise, I think that they suggest to us that we make some sort of adjustment. And this is where I would say that most people have the biggest challenge, the greatest challenge, because when we recommend adjustments and changes, most people suggest that,
I'm not able to think of anything else I could do. I can't eat any different food. I can't exercise because I have arthritis. I wasn't able to perform my fitness regimen because the weather was cold. I can't afford the kinds of healthy foods that are necessary to sustain my health. It seems that the most common and fundamental response to recommendations is that I have no choice. I can't think of any other choices, and what I refer to as the notion of limited choices. And I hear it so much that I actually describe this as the root of all health conditions. On the other hand, I have been fortunate enough to meet a minority of people who have done very well after such an episode, and they were able to make some substantive changes, even if they were minor at first and then accumulative later, and they've done very well. Mostly people have made adjustments in their nutrition and done well, and the people that have done well have made adjustments in their fruits and vegetables intake. This has been very informative to me. Beans and rice, meat and potatoes, meat and bread, and these are all wonderful things, but most of us start off with the staples that are high calorie but low nutrient, where we really should start off with fruits and vegetables as a larger proportion of our foods. So I have 4 recommendations for doing well from a nutritional standpoint. They're basic recommendations: salads, soups, smoothies, and cereals, because each of these potential mixtures of foods are opportunities to have a variety and multiplicity of vegetables and fruit. The most favorite aspect of my work is that I get a chance to see people win. And the people that I see win, you can tell that on a deep level, initially they have a kind of a renaissance that, I don't have to live like this. I have choices. And I'm going to make choices, and things are going to be different. And you can tell when they've made these choices because they start to win, and then they pick up momentum and they keep winning.